Hello fellow streamers, and a follow-up tier list video back to back on days for the ARROWGOD, right? We've gone through all the PvE skills. If you want to check that video, I will put the little link straight away in this intro. But we're going to go over the pals, and with these pals, if you put a good pal and skill combo, you will do some insane damage and push through as a ARROWGOD player. So let's get into today's tier list for the ARROWGODs. Hello everyone, and yes, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos of me, MrSneakyy. I am an official Legend of Mushroom content creator, and guess what? We are, boom, sponsored by Aptoy2 with a little quick promo code. If you use AppCoin's wallet, just type in MrSneakyy right now from the 1st of May all the way to the 31st of May. Guess what? I will give you 5% extra bonus on any of your purchases that you put on Legends of Mushroom. So help me out, and I'm helping you out all at the same time, right? So let's go over all the pals today, because what we got is basically only the orange and red pals. And the reason why I'm only showing you the orange and red pals is pretty simple. If we go into the main game and look at every single pal we have on here, right, this is basically the same pet. So if what I mean by that is the yellow cat is basically the same as the orange cat, and the orange cat is basically the same as the red cat. The only difference is each level of rarity, as you can see, is increasing the damage effect or the effect of the pet. So another one, the ice cream snail, is 35%. Well, we look at the main warrior big boy tipsy snail, 40%, right? So you can understand now why we only are going to be talking about the red pets as well as the pink pets, right? So when we come into the actual tier list, and when we look at all the pets I've actually got for you guys here, you can see I have all the base pets that you actually have access to. This is not including the Easter Bunny or the Pepe pet. I will talk about those two pets at the very end of the video, right? So you guys can obviously know you can have access to any of these other pets if you're going through any of the, content for this game. Are you tired of spending money in your favorite mobile game like Infinity Kingdom here and not gaining any bonuses for spending? Well, check out Aptoy's actual app. They have app wallet, and anytime you spend in games, you're going to get a bonus for that. And on top of this, if you're checking out Legend of Mushroom, you can type in my special promo code, MrSneakyy, and by claiming this, you're going to get 5% extra bonus in all of your purchases for Legends of Mushroom. This lasts from 1st of May to the 31st of May, so please take advantage of this and help yourself out and get some extra free goodies for your main game. I'm sorry for that interruption, guys, but you know how it is. We need to thank our big sponsor, Aptoy, just once again for sponsoring us for this entire month and helping you guys on Legend of Mushroom with that 5% bonus, right? So let's get into this tier list. Let's smack this down and talk about, obviously, the pets that you can be using for your actual ARROWGOD, right? And this is all for PvE exclusive, right? Obviously, because I don't want to have people here explaining me the PvP pals are different to the PvE ones. I know, guys, we know all on here, right? So what we're going to do is just go through this. We're going to just move the bunny rabbit out of the way so obviously you guys don't have access to it. And let's just talk about some straight up easy to go pets that you're going to be using from the get-go, right? And the Hydrospite, I'm actually putting Hydrospite in the S tier. I don't care who you are. For the longest of times, even to this day, I am still using my Hydrospite. Because the thing with the Hydrospite, compared to a lot of the pets, it is actually increasing so much of your damage output by allowing your skills to obviously go around another turn quicker than they would be normally used to. So obviously reducing your cooldowns allows you to have those attack speed steroids again, allows you to apply those attack damage, you know, amplifications again. You can put smoke bomb again, you can do clone strike again. It's just so powerful, right? So definitely one pet we need to obviously put into our S tier categories, right? Another really good pet that you can obviously run all the time in the early game until you get obviously a better version of it is the Cactus Boy, right? The Cactus Boy is actually going to be, for me, A ranking pet, because this cactus is honestly your go-to pet throughout the entire game until you get the upgrade. And don't get me wrong, there could be some spicy combos with the octopus and this cactus at the same time, but I don't want to obviously mention those, right? Those are their own exclusive builds. We're just going to go through, honestly, how powerful and better upgrades some of these pals are for you. So when it comes to some other, actually, let's talk about some bad pets, right? What are bad pets for our class, right? One straight away I'm going to put in the D is the toothpaste, right? We don't care about the toothpaste. Counter attack damage is just something we don't care about. Same with actually the pink pal pet. We just don't care about pal damage realistically either. It's just nice to have those pals doing that extra bit of burst with us, because our main damage honestly comes from our normal attacks, those combo attacks, and the critical attacks from all of it, right? So that's where we really care about all of our damage. Obviously the pup as well, this is honestly, I'm just going to put in maybe like the C category. It's not an absolute trash pet. You probably will use this maybe as a filler pet until you get one of the better pets for your, you know, end game content, and especially in your end game character, right? So now we're talking about some average base pets. What are the average base pets? So the average base pets in my eyes are basically these kind of sprites. And the thing is with these sprites, and I am actually using one right now, and I'm not saying these are bad pets at all, like with the main sprite, increasing skill damage is actually a really powerful one. It's going to allow you to obviously kill a lot of the bosses in the, you know, little time that you have. However, you will realize, you know, when you get later and later in, some of these pets you're going to, you know, put on the sidelines, because you are going to hit your 120, you are going to become awakened, and you're going to have that insane amount of combo damage with your Aurorus and Supreme gear, right? So now let's go into game. Let's actually showcase some of these so you're not just obviously looking at me all the time at this nasty tier list, right? Because here we've got some of those pets, and you can see even right now in my set, like I said, I am using the monkey sprite because for me it's actually doing a lot more damage than actually just increasing with this mecha dragon or even the fortune dragon, which is very surprising to me until I'm guessing I get the better version of it, right? So, what are some other great pets or average base pets? You can imagine the panda. I'm not going to lie, I really don't use the panda at all. This panda is a okay pet. You will probably use it if you've got no other defensive options, but there is better defensive options when we are talking about that. And one of them is, as you can see, I've got it equipped, the deer. I just love the flat 15% damage resist, guys. This is just a massive amount of damage reduction for you, and it allows you to obviously take extra hits, allows that shroom shield to obviously do a little bit more, and even that nature's renewal actually becomes a little bit more valuable because of this, right? Because you're just reducing the flat amount of damage, and it might overheal over it, right? So if we go into the tier list now and we put those pets into our little rankings here, I'm going to put straight away again the regen pet up here. I'm going to put him in the middle of the B tier. I think he is in the middle of basically everything, while obviously the monkey is more almost in the A tier. You could probably maybe squeeze him in there if you're going to be a lot more, you know, fairer, but I'm being as ruthless as I can, guys, because I know what some people are like, right? So now let's go to the deer, right? The deer is definitely an A class pet. This might even get bunched up to the S tier. I'm debating. I'm going to see what it finally looks at before we put it up there, because it's definitely an insanely good pet that you will be using all the time. And then let's now use what I think, honestly, is some of the better pets for your account, right? These pets that I'm going to now talk about are pets that are very, very strong and probably very, very underrated, right? And we're going to go straight in with the actual attack speed, the Snow Sprite Boy, and the Hydro Snail. These two pets are so powerful, boys, because these actually buy you time against specific bosses. So, for example, if you're against the slime boss and you just can't kill it because obviously it just walks at you and it just kills you, the best thing to do, and one of the funny combos you can do to this, is put the Hydro Snail on with like the Duran Bomb, or even something that is like Dazzle that stops the movement of the slime, and you basically kill the boss before it even reaches you. So it's a very powerful PvE pet that you need to be taking advantage of. And even if you were going to use the Snow Sprite, which is honestly the pet that I could be using right now on the current boss, because the boss I am fighting is this nasty dragon, and the dragon basically attack speeds like an absolute monster. So if you're able to disarm it and then use the attack speed sprite, which I actually have equipped, you'll notice it's going to lower the amount of attacks that you need to worry about, and hopefully, if you're lucky, and I wasn't then, maybe those, you know, smaller amount of attacks that I've taken, I might evade. And obviously evading those attacks are so much more powerful, so it might cheese me and kill the boss. So definitely a very powerful pet. I think these two are definitely S ranking in here, right? Now, let's finish up some of the other pets, because there is honestly some really good pets and they're really hard to place in these, you know, categories. The chicken is definitely in A star, right? He's definitely in here. I don't know if he's going to be at the very top, but he's definitely in here. He's probably, yeah, let's say he's definitely at the top. Because to be honest, this cactus you're going to replace. Let's be honest, we are going to replace this cactus. So definitely the chicken's good. It does an insane amount of damage because obviously you're just firing a lunge, you know, a massive amount of attacks. So you just always get those hits off. And then the bird's actually A as well. It's not going to go into S tier. You might want to put it up here, but for me, it's not. I've hardly used it, but when I do use it, it's for very specific reasons. It's when I'm trying to go for like 5 set, you know, skills, bonuses with all damage skills, where I'm trying to do the maximum amount of damage possible without any sort of, you know, damage reduction or healing, you know, increase or anything in that regards. So it's definitely in the bottom of the A tier. But now, when we're going into the final or the finales of these, you'll see we're going to have, obviously, the Treasure Dragon. The Treasure Dragon is bonkers, boys. Like, this is one of what we're talking about, because when you have this pet equipped, especially for damage now, you have an insane basic attack damage increase, and on top of that, a skill crit chance increase. It's just so good for our class, especially with the combos going off. And as you can imagine, the other amazing S tier pet with him is the octopus, right? Even these two pets are designed, honestly, for our class. And if you don't think they are, you must be sleeping under a rug right now, because these guys do some insane damage with the ARROWGOD specifically. Because as you can know, every time we do a combo, our combo damage is now increased by 60%. And with every 3 combos, we deal 200% extra damage. That is just insane, boys. And on top of this, like I said, the Treasure Dragon increased our basic attack crit damage by 50% and our skill crit rate by 20%. Like, do I need to say any further why this is so good for us, right? The basic is just so absurd. So when you get access to what I would believe those two pets, you're normally going to have them two always equipped. They're going to be your main 2 damage dealing pets for your class, right? So in the actual tier list now, the only things we've got left are going to be, obviously, the last little bit of crits and obviously Banana Split. And Banana Split is a really weird, or should I say, a really weird one, because it's a very powerful pet for ARROWGOD. But you have to spend. Just remember that. This is a event-specific pet. And because it's an event-specific pet, I am going to still put it in the S tier. It's a must-have. You're gaining 10% combo and 100% combo damage. It's just obscene. It's free, boys, when you're going into it, right? And now we've got the last remainers, and I'm going to be ruthless here. Eggplant is going to be B tier. Why? It's so hard to obtain, and at the same time, if you're going to spend the 50 bucks, I believe, to get this thing, it's going to give you some much crit chance, which is nice, but you will realize in the late game, you're going to be using these three main pets, which is your treasure, your octopus, and your banana split. And then your next two pets are generally going to be more defensive based, right? So this is going to be where you might have like your energy regen pet on. You might have a combination of movement speed and the attack speed slowdown. And this is where you will basically survive because you're going to out damage it because of the differences in stats, right? The Mecha Dragon is really good though. I will put the Mecha Dragon at the top of A tier, and some people might want to put this up onto S tier, but this is just flat crit damage, so it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I'm just going to be, you know, honest with you guys. Let's just place it there. And then with the last two honestly aren't really, in my eyes, for our class, right? You might want to use the Fortune Fox for PvP. It'd be really good for PvP, but the tortoise is basically, I'm going to put in the C category. For me, you might want to use it as a additional shield instead of your Shroomy shield, but you can just use Shroomy Shield, or you can use Blitz Assault, right? You can use all these different skills that actually give you damage immunity, or even the Buck, right, that gives you immunity, which is more beneficial than, I believe, this pet, which is going to take a very important slot. And this is the same with this fox. Like I said, this is a very actually decent like mid-range pet. It's more for PvP in my eyes, right? Because you will disarm and you will maybe immobilize targets to get that damage increase to potentially win that PvP role, right? So those are the pets I'm going to rate. And the last pets that we need to talk about is the Easter Bunny and obviously the pals, right? Because the Easter Bunny and the pals, or Pepe, should I say, is the two events that you might have missed potentially, and that's why you might not be able to obtain them, right? And I'm going to be honest, Pepe is just trash, guys. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just not good enough for me. Healing 0.1% is not enough for ARROWGOD, right? So this is going to go straight away, and he might cry, but he will be in the D tier. And when we're looking at the Easter Bunny isn't too bad. It's actually increasing your crit rate by 5%, and the Benny attacks have a 30% chance to launch, which is really cool, right? So I actually don't mind this. If you've got Benny, you could honestly use Benny quite a lot. So increasing your crit rate, even by that 5% early game, is actually very beneficial for our ARROWGOD players, right? And that's pretty much it. And you can see right now, like I said, this is the setup I am running when I'm trying to push through. And sometimes I do swap out the fiery tail for, you know, sometimes the chicken, and sometimes I do swap out the chicken or the fiery tail for more, you know, defense. Maybe I put on the snail as well as the, you know, snow sprite and just go flat out utility. So that's pretty much all the powers. And honestly, you won't go wrong with it. If you use these pals in PvE content to push through all of that style of, you know, content, you will do fine. I promise you, as a ARROWGOD player to a ARROWGOD player. And I am able, as you guys know, I am rank 9 on my server, and I'm on Chaos Stage 1 on 3.7 on day 22 or 23 of the game. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the tier list sections. We're going to do some more guides in the future, and obviously some cross server showdown matchups. And if you want to know all of that, you guys know what to do, right? Smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, the official Legend of Mushroom content creator. And remember, Aptoide have done an amazing sponsor to give you guys 5% bonus off in your purchases through that app. So just go over, type in MrSneakyy, get that promo code running from the 1st of May to the 31st of May, and help yourselves out with your account. So until then, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys, and peace out.